We'd like to welcome everyone to the 34th Annual Colorado 500 Invitational Charity Motorcycle Ride, and we're so very lucky today to be catching up with Wally Sr., Wally Jr., and his two boys, Jake and Wyatt. We've got three generations of the Dallenbachs here. Where's Paul at today, guys?
He's making a living somewhere in, where is he?
Seattle or somewhere, I'm not sure.
Great to see him with another big victory down at the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, so congratulations to you on that. The first ride, you were actually riding Wally on the bike with you.
Very first ride, Wally and I went together. We left here and we didn't know where we were going or what we were doing, and I think we had a Honda bike and
Honda XL 350,
yeah,
to be exact.
with
With a small seat.
Yeah.
11 or 12-year-olds not getting the opportunity to ride in the backcountry on the back of a famous race car driver's motorcycle.
Well,
it had to be quite a childhood.
Not really. That really didn't seem that cool to me at the time. I mean, hanging on to somebody on the back of a motorcycle, riding some of the stuff that we ride with, I kept asking myself, what am I doing?
Well, Jake, Wyatt, that leads me a question to you guys. How does it feel to you to be third generation, know all the great history that's come before you?
I think it's great. I mean, just to see what my grandfather and dad have accomplished, and the whole history of the ride, I think it's really special to be a part of it and in the family aspect.
Who were your heroes when you started driving?
You know, when I was 15, I was building my first stock car. It was a 38 Ford Coupe, and I was sitting in where the transmission was, listening on a AM radio to Bill Holland winning. And I thought these guys were Greek gods. You know, I said they wear white uniforms, and how am I going to get there? And here I am sitting in a gutted out 38 Ford Coupe with no motor or transmission. And you know, I'll never forget that moment, because that moment inspired me to put my shoulder and move on and do little things that I can afford to do. And it was light years away to race Indianapolis, and you know, before you know it, I was there.
Well, and it's expanded into so many different areas. When you lost your friend Arts, I believe it was 1981, and you created the scholarship programs. That was a big step.
Yeah. You know, from that incident, it had a new meaning, because scholarship began and charity began.
And it's been a tremendous legacy, and it leads me to my next question of wondering why the choice of certain towns. As we get set for day one tomorrow, what was the allure to Crested Buttes for the first night stop?
Well, there's a lot of nice places in Colorado, and we ventured off into different areas at times, but we've never had the rapport of the town like we have in Ouray and Crested Butte.
This ride has so many behind-the-scenes heroes.
People don't realize what goes into this ride and how many people make it what it is. But I mean, we've got a lot of people that fight for keeping these trails open. Don Riggle's been a big part of that. Stan Simpson from the AMA has been a big supporter of our ride. There's a ton of people that volunteer just to be a part of this ride. And times are getting tougher. People would love to see a lot of these trails closed, and would like to see the motorcycles just completely go away. So there's a lot of people fighting for us to continue to do this ride, and the good it does for everybody, the community, the donations and the things that we do and we give back. I think that's why we're at year 34. There's a lot of people, obviously, that give to the ride. That's what it's all about, because the ride gives back. And we do a lot of donations throughout the ride, whether it's schools or the search and rescue or churches or whatever. And that's important, and people have been very generous through the years on the 500, obviously, to make it what it is. I mean, it is the greatest dirt bike ride in the world, bar none.
And it helps us to get the correct image out to the masses of all the positive things that can come from motorcycling.
Right.
But we want to thank you all for coming up here and spending some of your day with us. So many friends to see, so many stories to retell and get caught up with people. But we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for hosting the 34th Colorado 500.
Just gearing up for 35.
catching up with Brent Durfee, correct me if I'm wrong, Western Regional Sales Manager for Dunlop Tires.
Yeah, you're correct.
And as always, you guys are a big part of the event here, the 34th Colorado 500. Everybody getting hooked up with some fresh rubber.
$50 per tire, and all the proceeds go to the TPA so we can help keep the trails open so we continue to do the 500 out here.
We're catching up with longtime industry leader, Mr. Brian Cornelius. Brian, how's things at the Motor Rex tent today?
Oh, we're doing good.
Well, I'm so excited because this is a chance for you to ride your first Colorado 500.
That's right.
Well, let's stop by and see what's going on at the Team Green truck. The head man, Reed Nordine here. Reed, you guys look like you're not very busy today. Everybody pretty well prepped?
This year, I think everybody's paid attention to some of the warnings, I think, and done a little bit better job on getting their machinery ready for the event, which is good for us.
Well, you guys have been instrumental for so many years here, offering up support and that, but this is a big week for you as a rider, I know as well. What is your plans for tomorrow once we get to Taylor Park?
Rubber side down.
We're over at the Climb Gear booth checking in with Nate Blaylock. Now, Nate, this is your first ride.
First ride, yeah.
Are you excited?
Oh, I couldn't be more excited.
Who's your sponsor?
Len Fulton.
Do you have any idea how hard he's going to abuse you tomorrow?
Oh, I think he's going to make me cry.
Well, you're in good company. The main thing is to make sure you make it to the banquet on Friday night. So,
Yeah.
Rubber side down.
Hey, stretcher or on my own feet, I'll be there, so.
We hope to see you on your feet.
Yeah.
Well, we're out talking to a lot of the different riders, and we saw some commotion back here. We had to come check out as these guys use their arms and handwork to try to fire up this old pump. Part of Wally's collection. This equipment does slightly predate the first running of the Colorado 500. This is a pretty cool old machine you've got here, but do you think it's going to pass the sound test?
Well, I'm looking for the flying mile in Bonneville. I got a 2-engine machine here. No, the sound test, no way.
It's in trouble, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great old stuff you've got here. What is this machine?
These are what they call hit and miss engines.
Your riding reporter catching up with Randy Hawkins. What a surprise to see you. 7-time National Enduro Champion, 13 gold medals, but you're a rookie on the Colorado 500. We welcome you.
Well, thank you very much. It was pretty neat when I went into the thing and they rang the bell and it said rookie, and I said, man, I hadn't been seeing a rookie in a long time. So I said, you know, I said, you can do as many times as you want to, because, you know, it's like brings back some of the old days. But no, I'm looking forward to this. You know, it's just been over the years, been so busy with, you know, the racing side of it, and had an opportunity, but just never could put it together.
Well, we'll check in with you through the course of the week and see how things are going for you. Don't embarrass too many of those other rookies. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 34th Annual Colorado 500 Charity Ride of Champions. I'm Mark Woodward, the Mile High Mouth, your riding reporter again for this year's event. Well, it's day number 1, and we're on top of Taylor Pass, catching up with Wally Jr., and you got a big smile on your face. Looks like you're anxious to hit the trail.
It's hour 1, and I'm wore out.
Now, Timberline Trail comes back in here and runs parallel to Taylor Park Road.
Oh yeah.
But it's rocky, gnarly, good AA stuff. You guys ought to do it. TR, we're talking about the pace that some of the riders take coming up the trails. How was the pace in the Land Rovers today?
Well, you know, Randy said, you mind if I go first, and we'll just see how it goes. And I went, okay, and I kind of thought we might go 2 miles an hour and was dreading the ride. He was out of sight in about 30 seconds.
We're here with Chris Smith. And Chris, where are you from?
Sacramento, California.
Who's your crew here?
Dave Chester from Albuquerque. Dan Chester from Phoenix, Arizona.
Scott Campbell from Denver.
How's things going so far?
We're off to a good start. Everybody's keeping the rubber side down.
Dave Vlasic, you guys normally on the Revlock truck. What a treat for us to see you on 2 wheels up here.
Dude, it's great this morning. The traction's excellent. The dust is a little
little high, you got to ride a little far apart, and you got to watch out for those booger rocks. They'll get you out there.
Is that what got Teague in the shift lever?
Yeah, I think his talent meter hit the red line there.
We're catching up with my buddies on the green bikes. LR and Reed, how are you guys this morning?
We're doing outstanding this morning.
Yeah, excellent, Mark, excellent. You know, Taylor Pass day one. There's moisture on the ground, the sun's out. It's a beautiful day.
Where are you headed from here?
You know,
double top,
all the good single track, and you know, just have a full day of it. I'm hoping to get probably a good 100 miles in today.
You guys are animals. You do nothing but single track.
Todd Romano from Park City. Second year, brought my rookie Jack McCormick up here, and just loving it. Weather's awesome this morning.
So how's the 500 to you guys so far?
Awesome.
Once again, we pick up a group of riders on the very technical Taylor Pass river crossing. Let's see how these riders fare. Here, one of the entries from Team Texas. Very generous group of riders. It is a very, very tough section. If you can imagine how slippery these round river rocks are. Searching for the grip, dives right in, trying to get his feet up on the pegs. That's how you do it. Meticulously picks his ways through, right up until that rock stops him dead in his tracks. It's Patrick. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's not a good way to go. They're rocking. They got this thing rocking.
It is rocking big time. Randy Tuggle at the wheel of the Land Rover as they try to guide him down and into our Taylor Creek crossing. catching up with a lot of the riders at the Taylor Park trading posts. As we take a swing back behind Lloyd, we see another dozen or so riders working their way into the compound. Catching up with Joe McCameron, one of the guys that's always super helpful. How's the day been so far?
We've had a good day, and surprised we haven't seen anybody all day till we got to here.
Really? That's a spectacular day then. Well, we're catching up with Keith Smith. I'm guilty because I don't have my name tag on, and he just called me Chuck. We're catching up with Ted Del Solar, and how old are you, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
25 plus tax. 56 is the tax.
So that puts us at, what, 81?
One, correct.
And what's the motorcycle you're riding this year?
That's my friend Davey, a 77 patent GS6 250.
And you've been the original owner that whole time?
No, I'm not. I only had it since 83.
Still working good for you, though, obviously.
Right.
And how's your morning been?
Super. Better than last year because I haven't tipped over and I haven't gotten wet yet.
Thanks a lot, Ted. Enjoy the week.
Well, thank you so much. It's heaven.
Well, it's time for a little lunch at the Nugget Cafe. Come on in, Lloyd, and let's have a burger. Well, right now we are on our way back after a great lunch down at the Taylor Park Trading Post and at the Nugget Cafe. We came back up Dr. Spur Trail and came across Spring Creek Road, and now we are on Bear Creek, Upper Bear Creek, going downhill and connecting to Dead Man. So up and over the ridge, 37 downhill switchbacks to Cement Creek, and on our way to Crested Buttes. We've got a bike that's stalled and won't start with a dead battery. We're going to now evaluate our options on getting this final rider off the Dead Man Gulch Trail. Looks like tough times for these two KTM riders that went swimming. Both riders okay, but having a hard time. We're probably going to have to push these bikes up onto Cement Creek and get the support vehicles. Time for Team Green to go to work when we get back. Once again, fixing different colored bikes.
That's all the kicks I got in here.
Well, it's the morning of day number 2, and we're catching up with Kevin Magner, 4-year vet on the ride. And Kevin, yesterday, an interesting day for you and the film crew. Well, what was the deal? Were you getting a little glare off the lens that was distracting you, or is it just because Lloyd hides in the trees with a camera?
No, you know what, I just got camera shy, and I kept telling myself, don't look at him, don't look at him, don't look at him. Then I would look at him. And then I hit the ground pretty hard a couple times, and I'm sure he got some good footage. Well, I don't know. I'm going to follow Lloyd this time, but I'm going to be behind the camera all day, at least as best as I can be.
Dan Blankenship, longtime member of Covco and trail guide here. How was day 1 for your crew?
We did all Timberline. north to south. Then we went over, did some stuff on Fossil Ridge, and by that time we were pushing daylight, so had to get in.
All right, we're here with Laura Schmeling.
You know, Colorado 500 does great things. You guys help us out so much with getting funding to do maintenance on our trails and to help protect the forest, and we appreciate that so much.
And I tell you what, this is something, if you ever have a chance to do it, you should do it, but you better be careful because I think you can really get hooked here.
Catching up with Ron Heben. Ron, we just got a little mud on you because Randy Hawkins says that you snore. But I think that that's okay. You got here. You're going to be able to ride day 2 on this year, and we're sure glad to have you.
Well, let's just clear it up right now. Randy snores just as bad as me. So, you know, and he's an enduro rider. Who can you really trust?
To the Alpine Trail. Excellent.
Cannibal Plateau, where old Alfie Packer had to eat his brothers. Maybe his friends. Anyhow, it's a 2-track. I wish it was longer, but it's all the Forest Service will give us.
Well, day 3 is ahead of us, Wally, and we're getting some great feedback from all the riders.
Yeah, I tell you, this is the 50-yard line of the event, and the first 2 days the weather was great. The action's been fast and good, and it's a ride. It's not a race.
We're here with Fred Sipe, 6-year veteran, and how's things been going for you so far?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's perfect. It's beautiful. It's Colorado at the best.
Catching up with Ron Heben. Ron, you missed day 1. Did you make up for it on day 2?
Oh, no doubt, Mark. Had a great day yesterday. Had a couple of rare sightings. Actually, it was a really special day yesterday for us. I don't know, for those guys that have been on the 500 for a long time, it's not that often you actually see Don Regal standing up, and I saw it twice.
And we're here with Randy Fierstein and your rookie, Mike Hall. Now, Randy, you had an interesting start to the ride. As we already know, you only made it 12 miles before the bike broke, and you had to go all the way back home and get another one. Things maybe not working out so good with that one, from what I'm told.
Well, actually, the bike ran fine, except for one part when we got on the Mill Creek single-track trail. I had my throttle stick wide open, and the kill button, I had it under control for just a few seconds, and then hit a bump or something like that, knocked my hand off the kill button. And so I crashed hard, and the bike ended up on top of me, and Mike came over and pulled the bike off me and said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
I have a story. I was following a guy coming into a creek, and I couldn't understand why in the world, you wanted to go to the deepest side of the creek, but I don't know. I'm just a rookie. And sure enough, he drove it off in there, fell over, and filled his KTM full of water. He was standing out there, and he was looking at me like walk in there and help push him out. I mean, I'm going to help him, but I really didn't want to walk in there and help him push out of the water, so he had to do that. So for some reason, he decided to look at his filter in the creek. So he takes his the cover off of it, to look at the air filter, and slings his cover on the bank to try it. Well, he doesn't quite get it on the cover. Now the cover's floating down the creek, and I'm running down the creek trying to catch that. So, needless to say, we had some fun with it. But he has became a nickname of Flipper ever since that point. So if you hear the name Flipper around, it's the guy that's won in the creek, and his name is Kerry McEnroth. And
we're here with Landon, with Nate. Guys, you're with Climb Gear, and we sure appreciate all the support this year. How's the ride been for you?
Well, it's been really great for me. This is my 17th. This is Nate's first, of course, and his eyes are wide open. I think we stopped and looked at every rock.
Well, did you make any heavy contact with any of them, or have you managed to stay on 2 wheels all week?
Oh, I've had one good get off each day so far, but
Tell the real story.
I haven't been hurt too bad. What's the real story?
Well, a little sideways into a creek, smashed the pipe, lost the pipe guard, but we MacGyvered it up and stood him up and put him on his bike, and we just told him to shut up and ride. So,
Well, all the years I've announced races, I've always described it thusly. If you're in contact with the machine when it comes to a stop, you just fell down. It's when you part company with it that it actually counts as a crash.
He parted company.
I parted
Crash.
company.
Crash. We'll go with Crash.
Yep.
We'll do Crash.
We're catching up with Bob Lee, the Kawasaki factory rider for the week. How's that going?
Oh, fantastic. The Kawasaki is super. 450 KLX is easier to ride than my KTM. I bought a whole bunch of raffle tickets for the new bike this year. If I win it, that KTM's up for sale. Extra big thanks to all the Kawasaki guys. Really taking good care of me.
We're here with Doc Bailey and Bill Woolman. Guys, you do so much behind the scenes, definitely heroes of the event. How's things been for you so far?
Oh, not too much. You know, a few broken bikes, a few broken people, and the grandson and the sponsor's grandson's not supposed to get hurt, but he did, and we took care of him.
How about you, Doc?
Hey, logistically, everything's been going well. The chase trucks have been covering the areas. The breakdowns and injuries have been taken care of. I can't say that we could do it any better. So we've had a good ride, a lot of good comments from people, and the towns have welcomed us. So.
Well, I think all the riders would let me step up and, on behalf of them, thank both of you and your crews for doing so much for us again here on the 34th running.
Thank you.
We wouldn't know otherwise. This is such a privilege to be able to come along and throw your guys' luggage. I miss my workout.
Did they make up for it by adding a little extra stuff to their gear bags, maybe?
Well, there was only one gentleman that had a little something added to his gear bag.
Was that something that you guys added after the fact because his was a little heavy?
I could never admit that on camera, but it just seemed to be that there were a couple of rocks in there somehow.
There's a lot of rocks in the Rocky Mountains. I can see how that could happen.
Yeah, easy. You know, we dropped it a little carelessly maybe. I don't know how these things happen.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Well, good morning. You know, you have to go up to Kipsey. It's a standard ritual the first day here in your race.
About to head up to Kipsey Gulch.
Kerry Barnes from Reno, Nevada. Every pass we go over it gets prettier and prettier. Been riding for 3 days. By far, this is the prettiest view yet.
Hey, I'm Roger Struckoff from Augusta, Missouri. Up here with all my guys. Got a rookie up here with me. He's huffing and puffing, having a great day. It's a beautiful day up here on Imogene Pass.
Well, it's been a great day to ride. It's a little hotter than I thought it was, and coming up Imogene was a little rougher than I remember. So, but it's been a great day. We're having fun.
Hi, my name is Mike Fisher. I came up from Connecticut, and it was well worth shipping my bike out here, flying out, and going almost 2,000 miles to get up to this point. And Colorado is phenomenal. The scenery, the people we rode with, it's an adventure that I'll never forget.
It's Wednesday night at the big reception at the Twin Peaks, and we're catching up with 3 generations of the Dallenbachs. We've got the boss man here, Wally, and of course his son Paul, and the grandson Jake. How did the day go for you guys?
Went good for me. I kept it up on the 2 wheels today. Had a great ride. Rode over to Silverton, then over Black Bear down into Telluride.
Let's talk about the charities tonight. A lot of checks given out here tonight.
Ray loves us almost as much as we love them, and we find a lot of ways to help the town and what goes on here, and they really appreciate, the checks and the donations. And
we're catching up with a crew from the Ouray Mountain Rescue. We've got Sean, Jenny, and Matt. How are you guys tonight?
Great.
Have we had to put your services to use at all this week?
You guys have not.
We've never had to rescue any of you, but we want you to know that if you ever did need us, we'd be there with bells on because we love you guys.
You bet. Mark, yeah, we really appreciate the donation you guys gave us this week, too. It's a big factor every year to have you guys come into town. It's really, you guys are the positive influence for all the motorcycle riders, regionally. So it's good. You guys are a great influence, so we appreciate it.
Well, on behalf of the Colorado 500 riders, we thank you all for your service. We're catching up with Jerry Grant and your grandson Grant, and how has things been so far?
Well, he's still above the ground, and that makes me happy.
How it's been for you?
Painful. Just straight up painful. I'm pretty sore.
Pretty impressive how some of the elder statesmen on this ride can ride you young guys into the dirt.
Right under the table. It's kind of demeaning, actually. I look at these guys, I don't think they can tie their own shoes, and then they just demolish me on the course. I've never seen rocks like that before.
Well, we'll hope you get a second win for the last 2 days.
I hope so, too.
Thank you, guys. We're catching up with Mark Hansen, a gentleman I met on the first day. Mark, how's things been going for you?
Man, it's just the most incredible riding I've ever been able to do. Great people. It's so cool to be able to come up here with a guide because we got great people who know all these trails so well. Great support. We got people chasing us down if we have bike problems. Just great people to hang out with. All like-minded people, loving riding motorcycles and enjoying the outdoors. So what a great place.
We're here with Bob Lucia and Bill Ebert. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How you doing this morning, Mark?
Well, it's morning of the 4th day, and we're here talking to David Al. He's a 19-year veteran, right?
Yes, 19 years in a row.
We're catching up with Art Farley and Doug Henry. Doug, you're an 11-year vet. I'm assuming that he is your rookie?
Yeah, this is true. I can't say enough good about it. I really can't. I mean, this is a lifetime experience, and I hope to come back for years to come.
We are here with John Corliss and with John Fitzgerald. Guys, how's the 34th Colorado 500 been treating you?
That's terrific. This is my 8th year, and I just love it out here.
This is my first year. I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's just fantastic.
We're catching up with Dave Russell here on day number 4. How's the week been treating you, sir?
Beating me up, man. A few trips over the bars, but other than that, awesome.
Fred Massari and Steve Walton. Steve, you're taking some type of test this morning?
Banged up my knee pretty bad yesterday, so my test today is if I can walk to breakfast and walk back to the hotel room, then I guess I can ride.
He's looking pretty strong, Fred. I think he's going to make it.
Yeah, we're hoping he's going to make it all the way to Crested Butte and then on back to Basalt.
We're here with a couple of guys from Team Texas. Brad Bradley getting taken out by Scott Nix. What are you doing, wild man?
Having a great time. Just a great time this year.
Yo, Wally, you got the MHM and I got my showy imprinted cornrows. We're up on top of Hurricane Pass with all of my rooks. What do you say, boys?
All right, man.
Continuing on day number 4, now on Hurricane Pass, looking down on Como Lake, just an absolutely beautiful sight. We're having a great time. We're working our way over probably 5 passes today. Next on the list is California Pass on our way to Animas Forks.
Pat Coleman from Birmingham, Alabama. The ride's going great.
We're now atop of California Pass, looking back on Hurricane Pass and the beautiful Lake Como. And it's time for us to remember, a big thanks goes out to the Trails Preservation Alliance, the Colorado Off-Highway Vehicle Coalition, so instrumental in working hand in hand with Wally Dallenbach's Colorado 500 Ride of Champions. We've got to keep the public lands open, guys. It's all up to each one of us. We're almost to the top of Engineers Pass, and I've got a new friend, an honest-to-goodness sheepdog. He's kind of the quiet type, so I don't think we're going to get much out of him, but he's healthy. There's a lot of sheep up here, just one of the multi-uses of these great Colorado lands, and he's a really good guy. We're on Engineers Pass here on day 4. Sad in a way that the week is going so fast, but just exuberant because it's been such a wonderful ride. As we look back on the Switzerland of America, we say thanks to the city of Ouray, the Ouray Mountain Rescue folks, and for all the wonderful people down there that gave us a warm reception once again. We're catching up with TR. TR, you're doing a lot of things as usual. First off, we want to get our thanks off to the Flight for Life Center and all the folks back at the hospital in Frisco.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. We love being here. You know, every year it's a joy. I love hanging out with you guys, and St. Anthony's loves helping out, so it's all good. Thanks.
Going up to the Slemgolian Pass. Pretty much everybody else is going that way too. We'll probably take Cannibal, circle around, do that, come back to the road, go on down, probably do the Powderhorn Cut. That's always fun. And then from there, I guess it's across the desert back to Gunnison. So it should be fun.
So what have you guys been up to today, Doug?
Just hanging out, taking it easy. Waiting on the fast guys.
dirty.
That's pretty sneaky. If you aren't, I don't know where you were.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Lloyd, I've had a great week. Sun's been out every day. Weather's been perfect. And I haven't failed yet. But it's just Thursday.
It's another great day in Colorado. The trails are great. Having a good time.
When do we have to start talking? There's a lot of pressure on me here. Nobody laugh. Hi, I'm Scott Birch from Laguna Beach, California. It's my 9th Colorado 500, and it just doesn't get any better than this week.
This is day 4, and checked with the group this morning. There's very few people that have been injured, very few broken bikes, no broken bikes on the trailer, and I think we've done good for day 4. This year's been an extra special year. I think we've had the most courteous riders we've had in years.
We're with the head trail boss here, Wally Dallenbach. And Wally, day 4 was fantastic. One more big day to go.
Yeah, and the weather's great, and everybody I talked to is having a ball. And
well, it's going to be a good time tonight back in Snowmass. The banquet and the auction are always wonderful events.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, and it's a good cap off for the week.
We're catching up with Stan Simpson. Stan, how has the 34th Colorado 500 been treating you?
You know, it seems to get better every year.
Talking about things being open, we've got to continue fighting to keep these public lands open. A lot of changes have happened since you've gotten in charge of that, Stan. We thank you for your efforts. You've been instrumental.
Well, I'd like to take the credit. I can't. We had lots of reorganization to do. The AMA has refocused what they're doing, and we've got some great people involved in staff and board now, and we're doing some great things for the members.
Catching up with Ben Cheatwood. Now, Ben, I talked to you last night before dinner. Sounds like a pretty solid week other than for one little spill on Alpine.
Yeah, just a couple little diggers up there. I think I fell twice, but last year I cleaned it. I mean, didn't stop, didn't stall, didn't fall, didn't even get off for a switchback. Didn't make the record again this year.
John, big week. How's it been for you?
It's been wonderful. We've had a great time. The weather's been fantastic. It's the best.
Checking in this morning with J.J. Jacobson. Now, I've known you for a number of years. You're a 7-year vet, and you've been smiling all week.
Yeah, my first year was a snow year, and it hasn't snowed since, thank goodness. And I'm having a great time as always.
And here we see a group of brave riders making their assault on Upper Italian. This rock scree field has bested many riders. Alan Tucker, the Wolfman, leading them through. We've got one rider down, bike number 169. This rider catching his breath, regrouping. It's a long ways down. Bike 162, very nice. It's an absolutely beautiful view looking off towards American Flag Mountain, our next destination. as the last of our riders have come through here on Upper Italian. We're up here with the world-renowned Story Leavesley. He's rode motorcycles all over the world. Story, what brings you back to the Colorado 500?
There's nothing like the Colorado 500. I've ridden everywhere in the world, the Atacama, the Himalayas, the deserts in Egypt, and there's nothing like the camaraderie and the friendship and the excitement of the Colorado 500.
Once again, we're on top of American Flag Mountain. And as always, we like to give a special tribute to all the hard work and servicemen and women around the world who continue to fight for Americans' freedom. And what better place to acknowledge their efforts than up here on American Flag Mountain. We've got a great group of riders here with us today, and we have Major Eric Meyer from the U.S. Army joining us. Eric, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm a pilot with the New Jersey Army National Guard. God looks out for all of us, and I found out the day before I left my wife is expecting, so I'm real happy about that. And this ride's been awesome. I know there's a lot of veterans that come out on this ride, and you know, everybody in the service is like you guys. You know, you like to get out, get the adrenaline flowing, and flying helicopters and riding motorcycles are pretty similar, I can tell you that.
Well, sir, we thank you for your service. What do you say, boys? How about one for the troops? Randy Hawkins and his group now signing in here at the Widener cabin, having a little lunch today, donation lunch, helping to keep the trails open. Big thanks out to Steve and Lindy Widener and all their friends for hosting this event for us. We've got a broken collarbone, Don?
Nope, it's more of a shoulder or scapula. It might be dislocated too, because he had good pads on, but check that deformity out right there. Isn't that nice? Look at that.
It's a tough break for any of our riders when they suffer a serious injury here. We do have staff, we do have medical support to take care of these situations. We're catching up with Randy Hawkins. Now, Randy, we talked several times through the week. What's it been like to be on a great event like this where you didn't have to worry about the pace you were riding and you actually, for the first time, got to look around and smell the roses?
And I'm riding around like just looking in awe. It's just unbelievable.
There's a certain amount of hero worship that goes on with these guys when someone of your stature is riding with us. So we thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll see you here many more times.
I appreciate it, and I say, and I'm going to support this as much as I can. If anybody asks me questions, it's a full thumbs up for the Colorado 500. And not only just a ride, it's just a great organization and what they do in the community. It's a win-win situation.
Perfect. Thank you.
You know, we had a few less people, which means it's a little easier to manage. No, it's actually been perfect. I mean, minor injuries. I was kind of surprised, as dusty as it was.
Yeah. No, we had a great ride too. So now it's the hard part. Taylor.
Well, I think a young buck like yourself should ride up, walk back down, help the old guys up, you know.
I have a hurt rib. I didn't tell you that.
This is Mark Woodward, the Mile High Mouth, your Colorado 500 riding reporter. It's late now on Friday afternoon, and all that's left is to crest Taylor Pass and work our way back to Snowmass for the big banquet. So many people, so many memories, so many great stories will come from this ride. We want to get thanks out to the Trails Preservation Alliance and the Colorado Off-Highway Vehicle Coalition for helping to keep these public lands open. We also want to thank the hard-working crew from Team Green Kawasaki, Doug and the boys from Revlock. Thanks out to Brent Durfee and Dunlop Tires, and Brian Cornelius from Motorex Oils. Also, big thanks out to the Land Rover crew. Amazing job by those folks and amazing vehicles. You ought to get yourself one. We're headed off to the banquet. We want to thank Wally, Pepe, Janet, and all the staff. The 34th running of the Colorado 500 has been a gas, and we can't wait to see you next time on the trail for the 35th running of the Colorado 500 Charity Ride of Champions.
You guys have enough fun?
Just not enough rocks.